Greetings my beautiful lovelies, it's Emmy and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Simple Health, which makes birth control convenient, affordable, and accessible. Simple Health is not surprisingly simple. You just go online and fill out an online health profile, which will then be reviewed by a physician to see if birth control is a good fit for you. Suggestions will be made and a prescription will be written, and if you have health insurance, most likely it will be covered. If not, prescriptions start at $15 a month. Super affordable, convenient. You don't have to go to the doctor's office. You don't have to wait in line at the pharmacy. The prescription will come straight to your doorstep, which would have been so convenient for me as a recent college graduate because I didn't have access to my college clinic any longer. And I didn't know where I was going to be. So to have the prescription come straight to me would have been so convenient and helpful. Simple Health is not a replacement for routine checkups with your doctor. And follow Simple Health on Instagram to receive the latest news on women's reproductive health. If you'd like to try Simple Health out for free, click the link down below or head over to simplehealth.com/Emmy or use the code Emmy at checkout. Big thanks to Simple Health for their continued support and for sponsoring this video. So today I'm going to be making a transparent lemon meringue pie. So many of you want me to make this, so here I am today. I thought this was a trend from a couple years ago, which it was, but it came back to my memory thanks to Helen Rosner's tweet, and I did a little bit of research, and apparently in January, a chef named James Dempsey in the UK made his version of the clear lemon meringue pie, calling it Lemon Meringue Pie 2.0. I'm very curious to see what the taste and textures of this pie are. Is it even going to taste like lemon meringue pie? I don't know, the ingredients sound legitimate, and the recipe that I'm going to be using comes from Tastemade UK. The recipe seems very thorough, which gives me hope that this recipe is going to turn out. So let me walk you through the steps of what I've done so far. So first we're going to make our pie dough. So in the bowl of a food processor, add 350 grams of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar, and a half teaspoon of salt. Give this a couple pulses to mix everything together. And then you're gonna add 130 grams of chilled butter that you've cut into small cubes. Now you're gonna pulse this in your food processor until everything looks like fine breadcrumbs. Then you're gonna take a medium egg and beat that up. And then while your food processor is running, drizzle your egg in. And then you're gonna add 100 to 120 milliliters of ice water, just until your dough forms a ball. At this point, you're gonna tip this out, press the dough out into a disc, gathering any loose crumbs, and then sandwich it between 2 pieces of parchment paper and roll it out. Once you've rolled it out into a vaguely round shape, you're going to line your dish. I'm using a standard 9-inch pie dish because I wanted my filling to be nice and tall. I used some scissors to trim off any excess, and then I rolled it under. So this is how I like to crimp my pie crust. I take my thumb and pointer finger from both hands and make little bird's beaks. And then I interlock them together, pressing them and going all the way around the pie dish, forming lovely little crimps. Now that everything is shaped, wrap it in plastic wrap and place this in the refrigerator and allow it to chill for 1 hour. So preheat your oven to 400 degrees, take your chilled pie crust out and use a fork to prick the bottom of the pie crust. This will keep it from bubbling in the oven. Then take some foil and line the pie crust, and then you can add some pie weights. In this case, I'm using some dried lentils. Then place this whole thing into the oven for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, take the pie crust out, remove the foil and the beans. And then you're gonna take an egg wash, which is just 1 egg beaten up, and you're gonna brush that liberally on the inside of the pie crust and on the edges. Now you really wanna fill this in, make sure that it's completely covered, and all those tiny holes that you made with the fork, you wanna fill those in with the egg wash. Then place this back into the oven and bake it for another 10 to 15 minutes until the crust is golden. The crust is complete. Now we're going to make the clear portion of the pie. So in a saucepan, you're going to measure 600 milliliters of water and add 350 grams of castor sugar. Now this is castor sugar. I purchased this in the baking aisle at the supermarket, and it is finer than granulated sugar, so it melts much more readily, but it's not as fine as powdered sugar. Powdered sugar also contains cornstarch to keep it from clumping. So it's really fine stuff, but it makes it really easy to dissolve into meringues and desserts. So it's important to gently heat up this sugar syrup. You want the sugar to be completely dissolved, but you don't want it to come to a boil. So I heated mine up to about 120, 130 degrees. At this point, you're going to sprinkle 24 grams of powdered unflavored gelatin on top of this mixture and whisk it in. So once all the gelatin is melted, you're going to add 1 tablespoon of citric acid and 1 teaspoon of lemon extract. Combine everything and allow this to cool. So I allowed mine to cool to about 100 degrees before I carefully poured it into my cooled crust. And that filled it perfectly right to the very top. And then I very carefully placed this into my refrigerator, and you're gonna allow it to chill for at least 6 hours. I went ahead and left mine overnight. I've never actually made a lemon meringue pie. I've whipped up plenty of meringues before, but never one intentionally for a lemon meringue pie. In a small saucepan, we're gonna combine 230 grams of caster sugar with 100 milliliters of water. So we're going to heat this up to 130 degrees centigrade or 265 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we don't want to stir this or agitate it because it can crystallize, but we can swirl it a little bit. I'm going to set this to the side. Now we're going to take 4 egg whites and we're going to beat them up in our stand mixer. This is how I prefer to separate my eggs, with my impeccably clean hands. You choose your method. Now we're going to squeeze in about a ½ teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. Plop those in there and begin whisking. Wait, is this plugged in? I always do that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we are at soft peaks, is at 267 degrees. Whipped up nicely. It came together very quickly, which I was very, very pleased with. Nice and shiny and glossy, nice stiff peaks. Isn't it wild? What is it about transparency and glossiness that is just so lovely? I don't know, but I love it. It's beautiful. I can't wait to test this. So rather than mounting all the meringue on top of the entire pie, which is traditional for a lemon pie, I'm going to go the route of James Dempsey, where I noticed he did a slice of pie and then put the meringue on top in a little star-shaped pattern on top. So I'm gonna attempt that. All right, let's see if we can get a slice of this creation. Now I've got my knife sharpened. Ooh, yeah. Oh, wow, that is unlike any pie I've ever sliced before. I notice that it's catching a little bit. It's tearing my pie, which I'm not happy with. So I got this little butane lighter. Ooh, let there be flame. Heat that a little bit. I did it! I did it! I did it! There it is! The clear pie. Oh yes. And it jiggles so beautifully. I haven't gotten the meringue onto it yet, but there it is, jiggling. So I've got a big pastry bag fitted with a 1M tip, I believe. Boom, yes. Boom. This is making me so happy. Can you see that? Oh, that's gorgeous. Doomp. Doomp. I'm gonna put another layer right here. Doompy. Doompies. Doompies. Always wanted one of those little creme brulee torches. I found this one I really liked because it uses the same type of canister butane cartridge as my little stovetop burner. So great, I don't have to buy extra cartridges. Easy. This is made by Iwatani. Just lick that just a little. Alrighty, finally, I get to taste the clear lemon meringue pie. I'm so pleased with how this turned out. Now let's see how it tastes. Okay, here we go. Oh, I don't want to cut into it, but here we go. Whoa, it's very jellied. Look at that. Ah, it's totally clear. Amazing. Okay, my crust popped off. I'm gonna put my crust right here. Alrighty, here we go. Itadakimasu. It is odd. The first thing I taste immediately is the flavor of gelatin. Gelatin to me has a very distinctive flavor to it. Even though I used unflavored gelatin, gelatin in itself has a flavor, and I taste that. But then you get the punch of the citric acid, which is nice and acidic. I really like the amount of acidity in that. It reminds me of a puckery lemon. And then you get the lemon extract flavor, which tastes like lemon yogurt. But it goes really well with the citric acid, a really believable lemon flavor. The crust is delicious, buttery and flaky, absolutely delicious. It's the jello-y center that's very strange. It has almost the texture of a jello jiggler. It's firmer than typical jello that you have in the jello salad. It's got a firmer jiggle. The meringue topping is fluffy and light, like marshmallow fluff, sweet, and actually goes really well with the tangy sour filling. It's just very unexpected. You have this jello jiggler combined with meringue topping and buttery pie crust. It's a very playful dessert, playful textures, and it just aesthetically is beautiful and stunning. And it is a bit of a bear to make. So, would I recommend attempting the transparent pie? Perhaps, if you've got some time on your hands. Otherwise, maybe stick with a typical lemon meringue pie. So, because you requested it, there you have it, the transparent lemon meringue pie. Let me know down in the comments if there are other things that you'd like me to test out, to try, to find. I am all ears. I get so many wonderful suggestions from all of you lovelies. Thanks so much for contributing. And yeah, big thanks to Simple Health for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to try Simple Health out for free, click the link down below or head over to simplehealth.com/Emmy or use the code Emmy at checkout. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye!
Mwah.